Hey up! Well, today's video would have been a follow-up review of the Royal Enfield Super Meteor 650 from Appleyards. However, the rain gods had other ideas, and whilst I'm happy to ride in the rain, the equipment is not. And sure, the GoPros are waterproof, but not when you plug a microphone in. So that particular reprise will be next week, weather permitting. Now though, and appropriately enough, you may well have seen the proliferation of spy shots of late of what appears to be a new Classic 650 from the Royal Enfield stable. Courtesy of Bikewaller in India, we've seen tantalising shots of a classically bullet-styled motorcycle, clearly sporting the 650 parallel twin unit. On the face of it, it looks like a Super Meteor with standard positions for the foot controls and a headlight cowl. Not much more than that is immediately obvious from the low quality images. Now, I've long said that my impulse to add a Super Meteor to the garage has been tempered by the not unreasonable thought that a Classic 650 should emerge at some point. So I've been holding off. I do love the Super Meteor in many ways, so please have a look at my initial review video. But I'm not really a cruiser guy, and I'm even less a mid-sized cruiser guy, and in either case I'm not a lover of forward foot controls and heel-toe shifters. And add to the mix the fact that I never fail to look anything other than a complete tit on cruisers of any flavour, and the timely first credible evidence of a Classic 650 seems almost as if an answer to a prayer. If it is indeed the case that a Classic 650 is soon to become available, then I confidently predict, for reasons which I'll go on to explain, that it will fly off the shelves like books in a Poltergeist movie. Now, there is no doubt that the inclusion of the Royal Enfield brand into the content of this channel has been something of a catalyst for its growth. And of the coverage of the Interceptor, Scram and Classic 350, it is the Classic 350 which attracts by far the most interest. Everybody seems to love it for what it is, how it looks, and above all, what it represents. An artistically tasteful nod to a bygone age of British motorcycling and British life. A better place in time, which those of us of a certain age remember fondly, and with good reason. And of course, I speak of an age when men were men, women were women, boys were boys, and girls were girls. Ambiguity only raising its head with the occasional appearance of Danny LaRue on the telly. And when even the BBC were happy to screen endless carry-on films where laughs all round were the order of the day every time Sid James grabbed Barbara Windsor's arse and gave voice to his heartfelt remorse with a cackle worthy of the devil himself. Fancy a gin and tonic? Ooh, have you got a large one? I ain't had any complaints. Cackle, cackle. And it was an age when it wasn't unusual to see dogs openly copulating on grass verges, and people for that matter, or dogs openly defecating on the pavement, or people for that matter. An age when both men and boys alike enjoyed simple electronics-free games such as snakes and ladders, drafts, and doctors and nurses behind the dustbins. When the lunchtime drunks fully embraced the British competitive spirit by playing highest up the toilet wall for 2 bob. An age when minor rear-end shunts didn't spawn £5,000 whiplash claims, and when insurance companies didn't hike premiums on the back of every payout. An age when cutting-edge cuisine was defined by Vesta chow mein, Findus crispy pancakes, and the addition of industrial levels of curry powder to Campbell's meatballs, the better to disguise the taste of nostrils, ears, eyelids, and the rest of its mechanically reclaimed imagined ingredients. Now, of course, I'm not saying that it's the evocation of these particular aspects of the glory days of the 60s and 70s which will drive the global success of the putative Classic 650. But you know what I mean. Nostalgia is big business when it comes to our baby boomer generation, and the closer a motorcycle becomes to sparking those emotions, the more successful it will be. Imagine, if you will, a bike as beautifully designed and presented as the Classic 350, but with the real-world usable power and character of the Interceptor, Continental GT and Super Meteor. A sure winner. So when might we see this marvel being unveiled? Well, consider this. The Meteor 350 was unveiled in the autumn of 2021. And the Classic 350 came exactly 1 year later. The Super Meteor was unveiled in the autumn of 2022. So by logical extension, my prediction is for the revealing of both the Classic 650 and probably also the new 450cc Himalayan later this year, probably in time for EICMA and Motorcycle Live here in the UK. Right, now, where's my wallet?